Hey there, YouTubers. It's me, Aydens' mom, reporting to you guys with the video for baby food. So I had a meal prep video for myself. You guys want to check that out. Meal prep for fish and veggies for myself. And today I'm going to be doing a meal prep for Aiden. And I'm going to be making him sort of a mashed potato version, but instead of using mashed potato, we're going to mash squash. So this is a perfect baby food for babies that are just trying regular food. And this is good because this squash actually mashes like mashed potato. You do not have to use a pureer for this. You can actually just use a simple fork to just mash the squash. So we're gonna jump right into it, and we're gonna talk about this lovely thing right here. It's a squash, or a pumpkin, as West Indians would say. So I have went ahead and washed and cut up our squash or pumpkin. This type of pumpkin is called, or squash, is called a kabocha. I think it's called a kabocha squash. So you can get this at your regular grocery store or your grocery store, and it looks like this on the outside. Looks kind of rough and ragged, but it's really tasty. So if your baby is at a stage 1 where your baby's just trying food for the first time, so normally that could be around 7-8 months or so, you have to speak to your pediatrician, and they'll let you know when is right for your baby to start stage 1 foods. Stage 1 foods usually include pureed foods, mashed foods. For Aiden stage 1, I used lots of pumpkin because they taste really well. You don't have to add too many ingredients to this to make it taste good. When it's steamed, it's amazing. So if you're at stage 1 with your baby and your pediatrician has given you the okay to go ahead and introduce your baby to soft foods, pureed foods, mashed foods, then I would definitely suggest, these are called kabocha pumpkins, or squash. These are great, and you can actually, it's actually not that expensive. I think I paid around maybe $5 for this piece of pumpkin. So what I went ahead and did was, after I washed this pumpkin, I gutted the inside. So you can use a spoon or a knife. It's probably better to use a spoon. You have all the stuff inside the pumpkin, and it's really not that tasty. So what you want to do is take a spoon, and you want to carve all that stuff out of the pumpkin. And you can toss it in the garbage, or if you have a compost for your garden, you can put that. It's really good. Just a little FYI, if you do put it in your garden and you put the seeds, these pumpkin seeds will grow. My mom grew them last year in her garden. So you can actually germinate these seeds and grow little pumpkin trees if you want. And it's also a cool thing to do with your kids. If your kids are 6, 7, 8, can grow little plants with them. So you can put these in your compost, or you can germinate the seeds and grow pumpkin plants if you want. So you want to take those out, and you want to have your pumpkin ready for preparation and cut up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and steam this pumpkin for about 15 minutes. Okay, I got this steamer from Amazon for $20. And I've been using it ever since Aiden has started stage 1 foods. I steam everything in it. I steam broccoli, I steam potatoes, I steam squash, I steam beans. So when your baby is in stage 1, if you have decided that you want to go ahead and make your own baby food, I do suggest that a steamer, however you want to get an electric steamer or one that goes on the fire, is actually the best. So we're going to go ahead and put some water in the bottom, and then we're going to put this on top, and we are going to put the pumpkin in here, and we're going to steam it for about 15 minutes, and I'm going to let you guys see how that looks, okay? Stay tuned. Hey there, YouTubers. It's Aiden's mom, and I am back with my squash video. So as you guys can see, I put the squash in here in the steamer for about 25-30 minutes, and the squash has become nice and tender. You see, it's like very soft. So if you take this out, see, it's so soft. You have to there you go. So if you go ahead and take this out, you can see the consistency. It is so super soft and it's easy to mash. You don't need a puree machine for this. Don't need a blender. If your baby is doing stage one or beyond food, you can see how easily this mashes up into baby food. So, and you really don't even have to add much to this. If you want, you can add a little tiny bit of butter. You can add, like I do, I love coconut oil, or you can add a little water to let the consistency get a little softer, depending on what stage your baby's at and what your physician has suggested when feeding your child or your newborn solid foods or pureed foods. So if you guys can see, it's really simple recipe. You don't have to do much. What I'm gonna do after this is I'm gonna go ahead and take all of these out, and I am going to mash them in this bowl. So yeah, I go ahead and I use these little bowls that you see right here. Let me show you guys. And I'm going to mash these in the bigger bowl. And just a little FYI, I don't mash the green part. This is the skin. So you don't want to mash the skin. You want to take the skin off like this. Okay, and then you can transfer this. It's so soft that you might want to use a spoon for this or a spatula. But you transfer it to a bowl, and then you can see how easily this mashes out. You can add whatever you want to it. Again, you can add a little water for the consistency. Some people, it's not suggested that you add too many spices for baby food. You can add a little chicken broth to make it a little softer, or you can add a little butter. And again, this is really delicious by itself as is. You can make it for your baby, or you can even make it for yourself. It's sort of when you make it to the consistency of mashed potato. So if you are making it for yourself, you can go ahead and put some butter on it, and that'll soften it out. You can also put chicken broth. You could just add some water, but it actually tastes really well, and it's really good to store for your baby food. So I'm just going to give you guys a quick video on what I do and how I package out Aydens baby food. All right, so as you guys can see, I went ahead and I pretty much took off all the skin, the pumpkin skins. So once the pumpkin is cooked very well, and again, you're gonna let it steam for about 25 to 30 minutes in the steamer, the skin pretty much falls off. So the skin is this green part right here, and all you do is you can use a spoon or you can use a fork and just sort of pry the fleshy part from the skin. So you don't want to give the baby the skin because the skin is a little harder, and depending on the level that or stage that your baby's at when it comes to making baby food, you just want to be careful of the consistency in which consistency of the food that you feed them. So my son is at the stage where he does have teeth. So if I did give him the skin part, then he would be able to chew it, but the skin is just not as tasty as the inside part. So you definitely want to try to take the skin off. Take the skin off and use the inside parts. And again, these are the inside parts. So it's kind of like, I don't know if you guys ever made a pie and you use like this is like the soft inside part that you would use to make the filling of the pie. But what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and mash this. And what you can do is you can go ahead and mash it with whatever it is that you choose. So if you go ahead and taste it, and you want to make sure that you actually taste your baby food, don't feed your kid stuff if you don't taste it. My son is very particular, and if it doesn't taste good, he is not eating it. So just go ahead and taste it. And again, this is the Kaboucha Squash. In the West Indies, we call this pumpkin. And this pumpkin is actually very tasty. It's very sweet. So when you're mashing it, you can either mash it with some hot water, or you can use some warm chicken broth, or you can use a little bit of coconut oil, or whatever it is that your baby likes. You definitely don't want to season this. meaning put salt and pepper and those heavy seasonings on this, because it already tastes really good by itself. And we want to keep baby food very light and preservative free. So again, this is just a natural squash that I went ahead and steamed, and I'm going to mash it like mashed potato. And I'll show you guys how I mash it, and I'll put it in the little baby jars that I have. Okay, stay tuned. As you guys can see, Aiden is enjoying his meal, and this is the Kaboucha squash that I made for him with strawberries, and he loves it. He's watching Sesame Street. Say hi, Aiden. So I hope you guys really do enjoy our YouTube videos. Pretty much I'm doing these videos in this channel so that first-time moms or parents, shouldn't say moms because moms aren't the only parents out there, first-time parents or whoever it is that is interested in just eating a little healthier and feeding your baby a little healthier. I definitely want to put this out there so you can have ideas or just inspiration to feed our children better and eat better. So I hope you guys enjoy. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and definitely like our videos. Okay, Aiden and I will be making more videos. Right, tough guy? He's watching Sesame Street.